Here she flies with a nice pattern across the center of the map. We're getting some real good planes here, it seems, and I'm loving it already.
Ooh, it looked a little good, but now looking at the mini-map, it seems to have baited us out a little bit. It's not that bad, but any of the teams going up north, looking at Georgia, Pol, and Yasnaya specifically, it's going to be a little difficult. And I have to say, I can really feel bad for Avangar. I feel like they're constantly drawing the short straw on all these plane routes. We haven't had any plane routes that have been especially friendly towards North Georgia, Pol.
Yes, that is true. We'll see if this time around it's going to be working or not. But we still can get there absolutely no problem. We're just going to have to do a bit of a long drop there. I wouldn't necessarily, pity Avangard. They seem to be doing quite.
Yeah, they're in fourth right now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. By the way, another story that we would like to, where perhaps the analysts can touch on it, is they're creeping up on the fourth place.
Yeah, they had a.
It's consistency, man. There's consistency in there.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a disappointing first couple of games, and especially coming off of the win at Katowice, it was a little disappointing to their fans as well as anyone kind of expecting a repeat performance. But yeah, they've been catching up. They've been, first day, assuming they've done VOD reviews and figured out what they're doing incorrectly, and so they're climbing up the scoreboards right now.
Yes, they are indeed. And there you go. Teams are getting ready to loot up and make themselves armored to get into the fights there. We're going to be seeing the normal drops, of course. Tempo.
No, not the normal drops. Vega, why'd you have to choose this time around? The one time we were trying to feature them in the early game, they end up dropping in where I call fairy trash. This is where Cloud9 used to drop because what?
They swapped, I guess. Well, they didn't swap.
Yeah, no, they didn't swap
at all.
Cloud9 left it halfway through the first day, and I don't know what inspired Vega into doing this, but they're going here right now. They may come into a lot of the troubles that have plagued Cloud9 in this position.
You know what? This is actually good.
Yeah.
It shows us whether or not this can actually be effective. So we're going to find out in just a few minutes if the Vega lads can come out with some good loot out of here. Already we see that they're finding a vampire has found himself an M16. And well, that's not too bad to start things off with there. He's got an armor level 1, of course, helmet level 1 as well. GOL and Atletico are going to be sharing Pachinki. I don't think they're going to be sharing it for too long because Neverhor seems to be a bit scuffed around the, ruffled around the edges, so to speak. Let's see if the Velo and Xiaojue will be able to take him down. Pongo's going to be coming in to help him there, and Cry is quite far away, but he could make a rotation, and Hefa as well will probably most likely potentially come in to help him out as well. Hefa doesn't have a helmet, so he's looting, he's looking around to see if he can find one of those. Pongo, in the meantime, might just spot Tovelo, who's been playing a triple on top. Pongo sees where the shot comes in from. Tovelo only with a P92. That is not the best weapon in the world.
That's one word for it.
Yeah, we'll see if it works out for him. Him putting out those shots, it's actually kind of a baity thing for Atletico to push him in. And this might end up badly for him, but Pongo gets taken down by October with the UMP, and that's a good start for goal.
Yeah, they kept him distracted for long enough for the other two remaining members from the top to come down, and Neverhor, though, is going to trade it out on Xiaojue and get the full-on kill there, so that's actually the first full casualty of the game against GOL. Atletico trying to turn this all around. Tovelo back on the P92 on the roof, still trying to spot out for his teammates to get the full surround. They don't have to worry about Pongo, though, shooting up from behind. No, it's actually Hefa. Gets a drop onto Obeng, gets another full kill, so Atletico are really turning this around. We looked for the start that GOL had the advantage.
Yes, indeed. Tovelo's going to be stuck in this triple. Looks like his teammate October is going to be on the back flank there. Pogo is bleeding out, but it doesn't look like Uncry might just be coming up close to try and get the res on him. Nobody in this compound here, so the res will happen without a problem. Tovelo falls as well, and that will be a kill from Hefa. There's just one guy standing, October. Now, GOL, we've seen him 2 matches before do a very crazy thing out of push from Cloud9. So Cloud9 won the push. There was 2 guys from GOL that got downed, and the rest of the 2 guys, instead of actually playing it safe and trying to go for a bit of a placement, guess what they did?
They pushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who does that?
China.
Number 1?
No, I mean, they're just... So GOL are a new team. This is their very first competitions. They are a new roster on this team organization. Plus, just the fact that the region as a whole is super aggressive. But speaking of aggression, here's Luminosity actually all pushing together onto 4 a.m., including a lot of grenades. Can he make it through the tiny hole? Oh, just bounces off the top. But they have all 4 of them coming into the bottom floor against one lone 4 a.m. player by himself. Not a lot of armor on Luminosity, so maybe he can get a couple quick downs. He does get one. Is the turnaround going to happen? He peeks around there. Oh, the red dot doesn't find its mark.
And that's going to be him downed. I don't think 4 a.m. are going to be coming in to get that revenge. No, not all. You can see they're already kind of making their way outside of this place on the mini-map there. That's a bit of a rip there, and a good start from LG, who will get the rest on Technoj. You know, he was going to get a first aid kit from his teammates. And, well, they're going to continue looting onto their current location there. I'm not too sure of Vanguard or whether or not they're close to them, but yeah. That seems to be a lot of squads there. That was the only guy actually in North George from 4 a.m. The rest of them did go to Jarkey.
No, there's one more from 4 a.m. I believe. No,
Oh,
Luca,
yes,
but he's
you're
gonna have
right.
to try and get out real safe.
Here
There
he
he
is.
goes, launching. Hey, a nice little level 3 helmet.
Not too bad. I'll take it.
exactly.
Vampire game. Can you find one as well?
Here is the gift. Us featuring them. The game is like, let's give them a crate to make them feel even extra special.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Extra special, what?
No. It wasn't special.
Extra special.
So
Left
that's
of
what I had. There you go.
M249.
That's why he didn't pick it up.
Come on. Don't like the M249?
I mean, I love it, man. There's just the M249 seems to be the Marmite of PUBG. You know what I mean?
Ooh, there's Joel.
It's the boogie of loot drops. You either love him or hate him. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, all right.
Saying it as it
I'm
is.
pretty sure that's how everyone thinks of it.
I mean, it's obviously not the boogie.
So
If
let's
it
talk
would be
about-
the
let's
boogie,
talk
then
about-
99% love, 1% hate. Wait.
Let's talk about this circle. We have yet to reach upon it because of all the action that happened in the early game. It's a pretty neutral circle, but another good reason that Vega went to the ferry trash area is because he would have had to, once again, make that rotation out of military base. I'm pretty sure they got sick of having to always make that rotation, that really difficult rotation, which, this one isn't on top of them necessarily, but still make it easier. But Max's on 54th on those bikes do come across Myth inside a compound, potentially scouting it out, realizing that it is occupied. Don't know if they're going to sit here on. There's a little bit of a dip here on the top that they
could
can
use
play
this.
around. They could, yeah,
Absolutely.
in the early game. You don't want to stay here for too long,
Well-
but for the first circle especially, wait for the second circle to show itself and then choose a good spot in that area.
It's a transitionary place
Yeah.
anyway, so teams are not going to be necessarily stopping here. So Vega having this spot here will make it easier for them to actually cap anybody that comes through this high traffic area here. But it looks like they want to push. Now the garage on the top side where 54th is not going to be finding any people in there. It looks like that higher in sight, AK won't find any shots. Scoom though has some sort of a cheeky idea. He's got an AK with a 2X on top and a M4 with a red dot. Let's see if he does spot the lads from Vegas Squadron. He did fire off some shots there earlier on, but it doesn't look like Scoom is too interested in this situation. He would much rather finish up looting, get picked up by Samty, and, well, find himself out of there.
They actually could just stay in this location. We know that Team Liquid would like to do little 2-2 splits in the central area of the very first circle, and this compound is in a good position to do that with the other two remaining members of Liquid. So have to see if what decision they decide to make. But I could see them definitely just hanging out in this compound. But 54th, they were able to recognize that the two players of Myth were just in that one single house. That the garage building was completely untaken, and so he goes down there. Now, are Vega going to play a split? That's another question right now. Because he could just play that little bowl that they were in as well as the garage building.
They could do that. They
Another
okay,
man
4 a.m.
push,
again.
Luminosity.
Oh, poor Luca. He's going to be caught off guard. Well, not off guard, but he's going to be caught by 3 guys from LG. And, well, they're sticking around. They're waiting. They're baiting. They're taking their time. Well, Luca now, he's going to get pushed quite soon, it seems, behind the door here with the M16 burst fire on. He's got a hollow on top of that, so he could be very deadly, potentially. Could find himself a kill. Let's see if he does that indeed. Luca, waiting. He still has the level 1 armor, though. That's not good.
Yeah, it's a little brutal. Hopefully the helmet's going to help him out. I'll see there.
Oh, here he
peeking
comes.
in.
Here he comes. He takes the shots. Takes one down. The second one is going to fall as well. Will the third one pick him up? No way. Luca comes up with a triple kill. And that is a fantastic effort. There's no chance that the last remaining member from LG will do anything to stop this. Teknosh, he's going to put his tail between his legs and get the crap out of there because the new champion of North Georgia is here, and his name is Luca.
So Luminosity, I feel like for a second it looked like they knew that Luca was in there, but the way that they went through that building, I don't think so. Luca was probably just hanging out and caught them off guard. They went in all together, but then once they got into the bottom floor, they sat still for a second, perhaps trying to listen if someone was
Look at
moving
the
around.
stream.
But maybe. But Luca was dead silent. So then he said, "Oh, okay, let's just loot this area." And we saw it. They actually weren't that kitted out. A couple players still missing some helmet and armors, and then they just went into that room one at a time. Luca took them all out individually. Definitely a good play by him. We saw how low he got, almost got taken out, but still won that 1v3 nonetheless. So very good job by him.
Brazilian loot delivery. Nice.
Exactly.
Nice. There you go. Luca's going to be very happy after that triple. No problem whatsoever for him. Now, 54th peeking into where Niatica and Eskisha are. We'll have to see if they dare peek into where 50 is. He's got a powerful weapon to work with here. I can't see whether or not. Yes, he's got a Ferg grip on that one, so it's going to be perfect to actually take some damage on his enemies. Vampire Game is going to be holding on to the lower side. But these guys are in a bit of a dangerous spot because 2 guys from Liquid are, of course, on the other side. As you can see on the minimap on the bottom right-hand corner, You also have some teams that would like to come close. There's the IFTY in the in the J's, or the liquid compounds as we used to call them before. That's where Liquid used to drop all the time.
Old school, the old Liquid, the old roster.
The old roster of Liquid, sorry.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Indeed.
I mean, people still call it the Liquid complex because once a call out happens, it kind of just sticks. There's nothing you can do about it. Sorry.
Isn't that cool though? Having an actual place on Angel named after your team.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah. I think they'd prefer it to be named after their actual like names.
I think their shack would be named after me.
This shack. Every shack be the Boogie Shack. It is a little synonymous. Anyway, here's a crate delivered. Right out in the open. Doubt anyone's going to go for this, and if they do, they're going to be a little disappointed. I'm a fan of the M24, but everything else put into it, this is a very, very weak crate.
What? Are you kidding? M24, I would go for that
no,
one.
No, but it's low armor on it. It's a backpack and not even a med kit. It's a first aid kit. I forget that those can even be in crates.
It's because, you know, it's such a good weapon that you don't need any other bells and whistles.
Not even a scope with it. Like, come on. It's all out in the open. That's a trap, and that's not even a very enticing one. Yeah, granted, you can't see in it, but you know, you get my meaning. Max is already peeking around, trying to stay safe from Liquid. Liquid hasn't taken too many shots at them. The angles aren't terribly great from that location, but you know, it's everyone at this point. You're not really going for kills unless, of course, you're GOL or Luminosity or any of these other really aggressive teams. Outside of like contesting in a single area for loot, you're not really going for kills. Information is the name of the game at this point in time.
Absolutely, it's a bit too early to try and get your team taken out. One of them has been eliminated. You can see 15 teams up on the scoreboard on the top right there. That's an unfortunate thing. Did the last guy from LG die?
It was GOL.
GOL, yes.
LG still have one trolling around in North George. once his 3 teammates got taken out, because he actually already rotated away in a vehicle to go find him. Yeah,
that's the way to do it. Like, there's no other way to do anything at this moment in time. So look at Technosh, the way he is on the map there, on the top left corner of the blue circle. What he has to do right now is get into the middle of Yasnaya if he can. Like, that's the whole point at this moment in time. Prone in and hope that the circle lands on him, because the way you revert from a squad game towards a single person clutch, let's say that, is you pretty much snick the whole freaking circle.
Yeah, don't go for fights.
No fights whatsoever.
Unless it's a 1v1.
Unless you're Technosh.
Unless you're Technosh. Speaking of which, Technosh is actually going for a fight. He gets it down onto Austin.
Oh, he does. Actually, yeah. There you go. Goes Gamey. In a bit of a duel there.
Keen
with the backflip. What?
10 out of 10.
That was pretty freaking sick.
Referee, can we give some points to
I would give this guy all the pastrami in the world.
Just, you know, a couple, like 3.
All the pastrami in the world is now his. Talking about it. Vis now. Taking some shots at Mixie. It is not Smack indeed, but it is Vis. That transition, though, from FaZe and any other transition shows us how powerful they are. They don't necessarily get damaged during their transitions, which is some of the best things about them, really.
Vitality here, all bombing into one little location, stashing their cars away, making them very, very hidden. Can't do a lot of damage. That was nades coming in, actually, from Ibiza. A nade is going to drop 2 of them.
Ibiza, stop, man. What are you doing? 2 nades connect, and he has 2 more to take down. He's not going to go for it. He plays the spot in prison. He's been playing it all these days now. Shiv will get the res. Does Ibiza have 1 more nade? Now, that's the question. Doesn't look like it. Otherwise, it would have been a GG for Shiv. Ooh, those would have been some really, really sad French.
Yeah, that would have been a spicy. Oh, just not far enough on the wrong side of the wall. See, the 2 players of Liquid in that building can deal a lot of damage. We saw them actually do a lot of work the last time we saw Yasnaya ending. It's all for members of Vitality, though. Now that they know that they're there, we know Vitality are great shots, though, so it's potential for them to really answer back in kind.
Absolutely. Vitality don't necessarily need to push. They won't sit too happy either, knowing that Liquid is quite close to that. And technically, they should have known, because this is where Liquid normally go to. When the circle strangles into that position where it is right now, this is normally where Liquid love to play. They put a beats on top of that prison. They will have Scum to help them out as well. They do a bit of a 2+2 split. But as we talk about that 2+2 split, we already see James from the other 2 side taking down Technosh. So that's RIP GG for LG. Or is it LGG? No re.
LGG.
LGG, no re. Re. That's unfortunate, man. 15 team out.
So Vitality here, we're able to make their way across the building into another larger one that allows them to give more angles of information as well as shots. But now everyone's attention has been rotated or relocated onto Profi from Ghost. Affleck's also coming in now. Oh no, it's McCoy that gets the drop onto Arax.
Yes, indeed it is. Shiv now holding on to the ankle there. McCoy can't do too much with his peak there. Shiv, full armor, full HP. Level 3 actually armor. That is not too bad. Mini 14 8x on top. It's not the worst weapon in the world. I'm actually a fan of that one there. Araxi gets the rest of the meantime there, so it's going to be a full squad yet again by Vitality. But he can't seem to catch a moment's breath. Anywhere they look, they get down themselves. But now Ghost are going to have to deal with Liquid themselves. I think Liquid are going to be peeking into that one there. In the meantime, Myth and a Vanguard could be bundled up in a bit of a fight there. Myth seemed to know where Vanguard is, so it looks like a Vanguard did take some shots at Skalisha. And that's Myth just, just noping out of there.
Yeah,
relocating to Dodge first.
Definitely a good call for them to do so. If I'm not mistaken, but I can't locate. Yeah, so they are inside the circle. So there's no real reason to try and fight for a strong location. Drainy's taking some very nice shots. Takes a lot in return, though. Dropped down to about, what was that, like 25 HP or so?
Yes, indeed.
But again, it's really too early to go for like a what?
Did that bottle of energy drink have like a needle at the bottom? Like a bullet?
Huh?
It looked like it had a bit of a bullet, like it was a quick draw.
I didn't spot that.
Quick draw energy drink. Wow, let's make it happen.
Quick draw. Yeah, just inject that into your bloodstream.
And would you look at that beautiful interface good from Star Ladder. Great stuff. Circle strangling in there. You can see the teams that have been eliminated indeed. That's an unfortunate time for both of them there. Well, yeah, Circle again on Yasnaya.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams are going to make their way towards that area now. But some of them are actually taking the north side. And this is why I say that 4 Angry Men do the north side strats, because their rotations are pretty fresh at this point in time.
Yeah, I feel like they've actually paid a lot of attention to the meta of the Western regions.
Yeah.
And they're trying to come in from the slow side, so they don't have to contend so much, but just looking at the mini-map, there's a lot of teams all vying for Yasnaya at this point. A lot of teams all fighting over. It's a big, giant crossover between multiple teams.
The same triple triangle of love that we've seen just moments before here. Ghost versus Vitality versus Liquid. Doesn't look like anybody's going to get down, but they're all trying to down their enemies to the north. In the meantime, their APR gets himself knocked by Zampti and Araxi as well, coming in with a frag against Profi. Profi will get the res, though. It looks like Ghost aren't in a good position to make that happen. But Liquid doing a very long, but it's an okay split because they have vision from one another. That's actually a very good split for them. I love it. Oh, Zampti.
Yeah, the real problem for them is gonna be when they want to try and group up. That will be the really difficult part. But at this point, they do have some nice angles to work together as the full squad to try and deal as much damage to the rest of the circle at a time. And I mean, they are in first for good reason. They like employing strats like this, so they definitely have an eye for it. They definitely know what they're doing at this point.
Absolutely. Samti, the destroyer of tires. This guy does not like tires. Like a rabid dog without a leash. Let him out. He'll chew off here.
We can destroy some people. Spot some people in the distance. Can't quite land too many of them. There's a lot of cover behind that UAZ. There's some long shots as well.
It's more like a pod shot there to let them know that this compound is taken. From that position where squad number 5 is, it's actually not too hard to come into the game. I think that might have been Cloud9, perhaps?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Cloud9 Liquid, a little bit of a grudge match.
Where Cloud9, yeah, there you go. Where Cloud9 are, actually, that's... it's very easy to spot that compound where Liquid are. So that's why they're taking shots to say, look, we're here, don't dare to come in. It's a taking place, you're going to get wrecked. That's pretty much the message that they're sending in. Atletico will try to send in a different type of message, though. And that's one of a knockout, but it doesn't necessarily pan out. Sorry. However, they need to move out. They are not in the next blue. Well, not all of them are.
They have a tiny little corner in their compound, but it's going to be a little difficult rotation out of it because it's all one big giant field surrounding them. They're gonna have to cross the field up to Yasnaya or even just go towards their east to find some cover in the hills, but it's not too much of that. Plus there is Iffy to the east who are shooting out some shots around the map, so they should know that there is another squad around there. So don't know exactly what the decision is going to be in this situation. Yasnaya, naturally, really popular. Vega have made their way in. Myth have made their way in.
This is going to be a fight later on. Guys, remember these teams. We're going to watch some fights from them. I don't think there's any possibility that they can actually avoid each other. Maxis are in any null. Here, their enemies to the south. And it looks like Maxis is going to be taking some shots. It's going to be any null that gets the knockout onto Nyarka. Oh, he has the kill as well. Ibiza actually stealing that one. Oh, that's good for Ibiza. He'll count towards his starters. And he's got a 2x Karna to work with. That is not a bad effort. Did he spot? No, he didn't. Oh, what a shot there. It does connect, but it's not a headshot. And that's unfortunate. Ibiza won't come out with a knockout. That one I fear wouldn't have been a kill because well, the knocked out enemy could have crawled into the shack, the boogie shack.
Murdori does get a drop onto a member of Vega in the meantime with a headshot, I believe. And so there's still a lot of pot shots taken here. They have found compounds, Myth. They were stopped before they could really get onto Vega's position, but let's actually look at the circle because this is going to have to force everyone outside of Yasnaya, and this is where the two players of Liquid in that field are going to have to come up huge because they're in a one basically lone building in the center of the field with wide angles surrounding them, but it is only two of them, so they have to worry about full squads crashing into them as well as just dealing with the entire horde essentially. It's almost like a tower defense game for them at this point, if you can think about it that way.
Yeah, you can put it that way indeed. No. Circle does show itself indeed, and you can already see FaZe with the rotation there on the mini-map on the bottom right-hand corner. They're in a bad spot. They're in a bad way. Two of them get knocked out by Entasace, and the third one falls as well. Oh, actually, it's going to be Mixie that gets finished off. Ibiza, in the meantime, tries to take the boys from Vitality to try to make their lead. Can they make their lead? No, Ibiza says, stick around. Stay a little bit longer. Profi helps him out as well. He's going to be the one that gets the frag as well. Monkey now running away with his badly damaged UAZ. We'll see the light of day for the next battle. But Araxi has been left behind, and I don't give him too many chances.
No, he was left behind as a plan B just in case all of the vehicles were taken out. Two of them did make it through. They only lost one. But still, he's going to try and have to snake his way in alone. You see Vitality do this every once in a while where they're kind of throwing a really big curveball. They just say, you know what, let's just kind of split up, play snakes. Let's just try and survive that way. Shiv, ooh, he's trying to make his way past. He is going to stay alive for now. Let's look at Entis now. Just took out a couple members of FaZe. They have Tempo just to their north.
This is a place where Tempo Storm have played yesterday as well. And they were actually quite proficient at playing that particular rock. Let's see if this time around they're going to be able to do too much with it, since Entasace are just to their south. They had enemies to the south in yesterday's match, if I remember correctly. So we'll see. We'll see if it pans out or not.
Vega.
Joel, though, fast on the Baiku. Well, let's see if he's fast enough, though. It looks like 54 is not taking damage, but any Noel is. Ooh, it doesn't look bad. In the meantime, the boys from Myth get absolutely bodied by Vegas Squadron. Vampire Game coming out on top of some nice frags for himself there. And it looks like any Noel had stopped behind a rock as well. Shiv is going to be quite close to them. His vehicle is blown away, so it's not going to be a potential for him to actually rotate in safety. Jeems in the meantime takes a drop down with car explodes there. Pongo peeks out from his current position, takes the Nuctive away. Mumino's not going to be there to trade the frag. Drainus doesn't do it either. So Pongo's left to reign supreme with the SKS. One after another they fall. Pongo coming up huge.
Yeah, AVG seem to have got caught completely off guard here. There's only one remaining member left in a Nuctive. You can potentially get the revive. Oh, sorry, Momino left, but Nuctive is down. Could potentially get the revive on that player, but doesn't want to go for it just yet. Trying to prone down, catch them off guard, potentially see if anyone else from Atletico is going to peek over. Atletico, in turn, are going to get their own revive back up. And in the meantime, if he does get taken out by a nice spray down onto one vehicle by Gukun, but Momino has Atletico in their sights. Pongo in his sights. Is he going to go for the shot? Try and land one on the head, but Pongo needs to stand still for that to happen.
And he kind of does, but doesn't. Momino just waiting for the perfect time.
Patient.
He knows that there's more players from Atletico just behind that ridge. And we'll see if that one pans out or not. In the meantime, Afflex takes down Vampire Game. Maxizor is going to try to prone his way into the circle. Ghost are close to giving up the Ghost because they don't have a card to work with here, so they're going to have to walk it off. But as they do, they're taking heavy damage. Mikoi now with less than half, less than a quarter. And James there's the dirty deed and closes that one down. Afflex. Now the last one staying alive, and he falls at the hands of Maxizor. So that is RIP GG for Ghost Gaming. Another team eliminated a bit early on.
Oh, ABG also goes down due to Cloud9. Scoob now, he was able to make his way out. His teammate there in Yasnaya actually fell to the snake in Arax.
They need to move.
Staying behind, yeah, but he's able to make his way through. I believe he found a bike in the middle of the field and able to join with his teammates. So they're not in a good position, but they also need to move because the next circle is not on them any longer. It is right on top of this duo of NA teams, really, and Tempo and, sorry, Entis is there. That's not Cloud9. Cloud9 are in the northwest.
Yes, indeed. Cloud9 versus Atletico. They have spotted each other, made some connections, bonds perhaps, over killing a Vanguard. But now they're going to have to finish off one. It's going to be one or the other. You can see already a bit of a side flank there. Coming in one member, Frolicker, staying on the top side there as the rest of them are grouped up together. One of them falls as well, Moody. Not a good time to die now. It was going to bring him to nothing solid FPS. Can he smoke that area and go for the res? Perhaps he can, but he's not looking the right way. Needs to peek in a bit higher. He's going to give up on that one. Oof. That might be one of them dead. Indeed, Moody dies down.
So the one good thing that Cloud9 have in their favor in this fight between the two squads is that Atletico are all grouped up together. They're a little more of a spread, so they can get some crossfires going on. But Moody did just die, so they do have a man disadvantage into this one. Maxes are now lying in wait in the bush, seeing if he can't take care of some of these Liquid players trying to make the rotate out, leaving Scoom behind again to be the plan B, the same way that Vitality did for Rex. Perhaps Scoom can catch a snake as well. Little trap, and while we're talking about that, Atletico gets taken out by Cloud9. All four fall due to Frex and solid FPS. Very nice job there, gatekeeping them right when the blue is coming in and just in the nick of time.
The unfortunate thing about that is that they cannot loot for longer. Solid
Yes.
FPS thinks about going to his fallen teammate to loot him up, but won't get a chance to do just that. Instead, he's going to back away from it. It looks like his teammate has done that. So at least they're going to have some decent loot to work with here forward. They need some meds. These boys need some meds. And Liquid now facing Maxizor. Well, Maxizor facing Liquid pretty much. He's looking at him with a 4x car 98. He's never going to take the... He cannot take the shot. Tell me he's not.
He wants to. It's really tempting. This is a good spot for Liquid considering the shape of the circle, but Maxizor here could do a lot of damage to them. Solid FPS taking some shots, and the car's driving off into the distance, trying to make their own way into the circle. Seems that they're just there, and they're on the edge. Myth gets eliminated, and Anol does the final damage to them.
Indeed, that's another team. It's pretty much out. Wow, that's a lot of teams early on these circles. It's been indeed an awkward one for all these teams. Let's see what happens here. Break of the meantime falls as well. I think there was the last member standing for TSM.
Yes.
They're going to go out in 9. In the meantime, solid FPS with the car 98 8X is going to try and put some good shots there. He might spot the Tempo boys on the other side of the rock. But they're hiding behind their car, so they're going to be safe for now. Yeah, they're playing those rocks really, really good. Maluk will try to peek out and take some shots at Cloud9 here. But Oraxi actually from Vitality gets taken out by 4 AM. That's a long-range shot, as you can see on the mini map there.
And there's no pickup happening on that because his lone main teammate is on the opposite side of the circle. And the new circle reveals itself is going to be in the northwest, still on tempo, still with a really good position to kind of gatekeep. Oh yeah, definitely. He's surrounded by a lot of players. He's gonna get breached upon by Cloud9. He's gonna have to try and hide from them the same way he actually very skillfully hide from Entis.
The fact that Cloud9 are taking shots means that Vega might actually go against them to try and clear out their angles before they enter the circle. And as they do that, they will find Shiv right in the middle of the battle here. We'll see what happens, and I'm pretty sure he is prone in, as you can see on the screen right now. Well, looks like Cloud9 think about taking vehicles. This might actually work out for Shiv. Oh, is that a car drop? Nope, he's just letting it go. Okay, GG. It just went. Perhaps he only needed one.
Yeah, I think that one was a little
What
damaged.
is this rotation coming in from Cloud9? They might be trying to take the south side of the circle. Oh, that's definitely not something that would be easier for them. They know where Tempo is. I'm not too sure what their plan is right now, but looks like Maxizor is a bit tempted. He knows that Liquid have left their spot. He would take a shot if possible, but first he needs to make his way in. Liquid, look at where they are. Look at Vega. Maxizor just making his way past it. He's going to be stealing one of their bikes. That's beautiful. Liquid, no. They're trying to run for it, but it's gone. Oh, he stole your bike.
It's dangerous.
Oh, forgotten. Maxizor will make his way inside, but not for long. There he comes, your boy Dre with the knockout there. It's a good one indeed. Scoom to beat down, James dying down, and to see putting good efforts, and Tempo helping him out as well. Liquid have only Samty now.
Yeah, they had no choice but to just run straight forward, and they got called out by Entis. Nothing they could really do about that there except just hit some amazing shots, and that doesn't come every single time you pull the trigger. So in this case, it is just Samty left, and he is still not in the play zone. Not too much engine for him there. But Brock here now in a fight against Tempo, trying to throw some shots. The DP doesn't land too many of them, if any at all. Takes a lot of damage. Trying to run forward to grab a different angle. Confuse Tempo a little bit. Luke healing up. Continue on with this fight. Tempo have a very nice spot in the circle behind some really good rocks, but Cloud9, as you can see on the map, are making their way up on the strap, but a nice nade from Zanpa. Drop Frolicker, and a follow-up gets the full kill.
And that's a beautiful one indeed. Cloud9 are now going to be dinked down hard. They knew where Tempo was. Perhaps they did not spot them. I think that's what happened here. In the meantime, 4AM are going to be coming in to actually help Cloud9 because they're pushing into that ridge where they could potentially spot the NA team. Your boy Dre is going to be finding a frag against Standino. That means that one more guy is left for a Vegas squadron, I think. Samty now, the last one staying in the blue, and solid FPS. Well, he does a solid for his team and takes him down. 5 teams left now. Most of them actually are full or very close to full roster.
Vitality gets taken out. And solid FPS make his way inside the circle before he gets sprayed down. It's a little close, but I think he's going to make it.
Frex needs to move.
The real question is, where is the next circle going to go? That's going to find a lot of what happens to do, and it goes virtually dead center, but very few teams are inside. Tempo is the closest, but I don't think there's a lot of cover that they have immediately in their current point. So what everyone's going to do is try and clear the area around them and then come in from their chosen angle into whatever is left on the opposite sides of the circle. Tempo are in a fight right now with Cloud9, trades back and forth. Solid FPS still standing, takes some shots back up, but it's actually Entis that pounced back onto them.
Yes, indeed. That's a bad moment for him. Solid FPS got to be taking away that frag. But he's fired off his shot. They're going to know where he is. Nobody seems to be interested in him that much. FaZe perhaps might approach. There is one guy left, of course, from Tempo Storm, Maluk. And can there be a res? No, he can't. Look at Yemti tying down. 4AM coming in with the flank on the Northway. This is interesting from them, actually, because they're putting FaZe in a very bad spot, setting with a sliver of light left, and ooh, that car blows up straight in his face. God V. Wow, man, 4AM are really showing us how it's done.
They snuck up on FaZe. FaZe had no clue that they were there, just walked up onto them. But now it's Entis' turn to strike. Deal some heavy damage to 4AM, take out a couple more players in return, and OGN, they're the only team left with just 4 players alive. C9 are at 2, Tempo's at 1, 4AM's at 2. This is a really good position for Entis to take this entire game.
Absolutely. But look at this overview. There's not a lot of cover. And Entis takes lose a member already. Cloud9 doing a very, very good job at taking down Christis. Seongyang is going to be trying to peek in there. That kind of beautiful one on Frex. Solid FPS might be the next one to fall. He doesn't just yet, but his life is not full. Look at this. There might be a res on some people. This would be huge. This will put Entis back on full roster. Can it happen? Solid FPS now taking shots from Maluka, and that's him down, tripping over, falling out. And that's not going to be a touchdown for Cloud9.
Oh, this is huge. 4AM, they have a good shot in this right now. The reses are coming from Entis. But if, who is it from Tempo Storage? If Maluk does strike at the right time, or I guess end up shooting at the right time, the crossfire between the two teams could work out in their favor, but of course, Entis with 4 people is still in a good spot. Goku with a nice spray down to some people, though, is going to damage OGN further.
Let's see if he follows up with that nade, and if that nade connects, and he might deal with that indeed, but his teammate falls out at the time. Oh, and Goku comes in with a good shot. Is it going to be enough? No, it is. Christis gets knocked out himself to Maria now. The last one staying alive for his team there, and he might get taken down by Maluk. It happens, and that is it. It's going to be Maluk that gets the frag. How did 4AM die? I'm so confused.
Goku did so much work to Entis, but the man advantage on the side of Entis took them all out, but the damage that 4AM did to Entis made it a 1v1 in the end. Maluk pounces as the solo player wins the entire thing. This is the first time we've seen a snake turn the entire thing around and get first place for their team. We thought Entis had this.
And you can see they're very chill about it as well. Oh my god. How did they turn around Maluk, you absolute legend? Stealing away the victory from the Asian teams like it was nobody's business, and then looking cool about it as well.
4AM played this entire game amazingly. Entis very well played for themselves, good positioning. This is something that we got familiar with them. They weren't a very aggressive team. They just knew how to play their spots very well, and they did that this game. But 4AM, the kill count isn't showed on screen, but let me just tell you, Gukun, he's impressed me this entire week so far. 7 kills this game. Aluka, 7 kills this game. Godv following up the support from 2. This is what? How many is that?
They pretty much cleared the way for
Maluk in 3rd place.
They pretty much cleared the way for Maluk to get the chicken dinner. That's what they did. Their north rotation or north transition wasn't as easy as they thought. They did take FaZe down, but they lost some members in the process. That wasn't necessarily good for them. And as they pushed out onto Entis Ace, it became harder and harder to stay alive. And as you saw in that trade, it was Maluk that came out on top alive. That little snaky son of a gun. What a beautiful effort out of him, man. That's the first time I see this. And we've been casting this since the freaking start of PUBG.
Yeah.
Of PUBG esports. This is the first time I see this.
Yeah. And also just follow with, like, the story if you want to look at the entire standings right now is that Liquid, not a bad position. It's number 7, but again, they're kind of slipping from the performance that they've been delivering the previous 2 days.
True. But here's that team that I was talking about, 4AM.
Yeah.
Really doing good, and you could see those rotations coming in really, really nicely. But for now, let's turn our attention to the winners of this match as Thomas is ready on the stage right now for an interview. Thomas, take it away.
Thank you very much. I'm on stage at the moment with Maluk from Tempo Storm, who just Well, there's no other way to say it. Hard carried his team there at the end and picked up the victory for Tempo Storm, your second chicken dinner of the tournament so far. So how did it feel? Was the adrenaline pumping, shall we say, in a 1v4v3 situation for you?
Yeah, it was crazy. I honestly wasn't sure how many people were down on the teams. I just knew that I could kill the 4 a.m. guy on that tree, and I was pretty sure he was the last guy, but on Entis, I thought there were like 2 or 3 more after that, so when the game ended, I had no idea it was going to be a W.
Well, congratulations on that win anyway. You played spoiler for 2 teams. 4 a.m. have been looking really strong today, and Entis, I think that's the closest they've come to a victory themselves. But playing into the game as well, obviously a lot of your teammates went down earlier. In that environment, are they encouraging you? Are they going, come on, Malik, you got this, you can do this? Are they spurring you on as the game goes on?
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic when you're like the first guy dead. There's a lot of things you can do to help, like he'll spot things on his teammate's screen, stuff like that. And in this setup, it's actually interesting because you can see whether 8 of the other teams are alive or not. So he can tell you like, oh, Ifty just got knocked, Ifty's just got wiped, don't worry about them. Because sometimes you're not really sure. Maybe there's one phase guy snaking around, you couldn't tell if they got wiped. So it's good to have like a set of eyes looking around.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages of the arena, shall we say, being able to keep track when the kill feed gets a little bit too hectic on that one. So you have the most North American wins as a team of Tempo Storm. But you've really got to contend against the Europeans. You've got 2 more games today. You've got 5 tomorrow. How far do you think you can climb up the leaderboard in that time?
I'd be happy if we were able to crack the top 2 today. It'd be tough. I think we'd have to probably win or come top 3 in the last 2 games, but I would say that's our goal, and then on the last day, we'll try to overtake Liquid.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time, Malik. You were definitely a standout star of that match. That's all we have on the stage at the moment. We're going to take it over to our analyst to break this one down.
Peculiar game, to say the least. Like, we never have seen so far in this tournament a situation like this, when a solo player kills just the last remaining team and gets the chicken dinner, right? It's an unprecedented situation.
Yeah, I mean, every time you see someone trying to play that snake spoiler role, but it's rare to see sort of a situation where it's a 1v1v1 and he's able to mop up. Maluk did it perfectly, even to the point where you heard him say it, using the stadium to his advantage. So
Looks
very,
like
very,
shit.
well executed by those guys.
It happened. Also, it happened so fast. We were like, "What just happened?" 4 a.m. guy actually got a 1v3 against Antis, and Maluk just cleaned up.
Yeah, I feel bad for 4 a.m. Literally.
Yeah, 4 a.m. went actually had, I think that was Gukun, if I'm not mistaken.
Gukun.